Good morning. My name is Jeff Roth. I'm the Deputy Mayor for Operations, and I want to welcome you all to the next front in the trash revolution right here in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. But please try to contain your excitement. We all know New York City produces a lot of trash, the equivalent of 100 747s every single day. But we've never had a dedicated spot to collect it, not really. Our trash has sat in leaky black bags wherever we could find space for it, against fences, city bike docks, crammed next to doorways and hydrants. And in a feat that surely earns them their moniker, New York's strongest have had to navigate all that street infrastructure for decades until now. This administration has said enough. We first changed set-out times for our trash. We required food businesses across the city to containerize, then chain businesses, all businesses and smaller residential buildings. And today we're taking our next leap right here in Brooklyn. The trash revolutionary himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Eric Adams.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Such an important initiative. When I was a police officer, this was my precinct, the 88th precinct. And when you get here and walk through the parks, we will often be encountered by rats and rodents. And that was one of the top missions we wanted to do to move towards dealing with just the cleanliness of the city. And I really want to thank Commissioner Lohan for his just picking up the mantle and continue the success with our rat czar, who has always also played a major role. We stated from the beginning the trash revolution has been a huge win for New York City. I hear it often when I'm on the subways or walking through the streets that people are stating, where have all the rats gone? It's clear that this movement is carrying out the function that we wanted. And it's a massive, massive success, and we're going to continue to move in the right direction. And we started with changing out the set-out times. There was a lot of pushback, but we realized not having trash bags on our streets at an earlier time would assist us in dealing with the rodent problem we were facing in the city and unsightly bags. When we changed those times, we were able to coordinate with the union and ensure that garbage was put out later, and that played a major role in getting the bags off our streets. We're seeing cleaner streets and sidewalks, better quality of life, and massive decline in rodent activity. In fact, the number of rat sightings and 311 calls have dropped for 9 straight months. And while the rats are crashing out, we are ramping up. Today, we're announcing the next phase in the trash revolution, the Battle of Brooklyn. Brooklyn Community Board 12 will soon become the second neighborhood in New York City to have all of its trash fully containerized. Following the success of Community Board 9 in West Harlem, we're rolling out the new Empire bins to schools in Fort Greene and Clinton Hill this fall. And this is an example of the bins. This rollout would expand to downtown Brooklyn, Boerum Hill, Brooklyn Heights, Fulton Ferry, Dumbo, Vinegar Hill, Fort Greene, Clinton Hill, and the Brooklyn Navy Yard in 2026. This is part of a citywide transformation that started with the set-out times and also our $32 million commitment in our best budget ever to ensure our streets remain clean. So we're striking back against rats and filth by expanding the use of our Empire bins. These are more than just better bins. They are part of a new system that will improve the modernized trash collection in our city. The Empire bins are serviced by an automated self-loading truck, a first of its kind in North America. We put it in place during this administration. These trucks have been running on the streets of West Harlem since April and will soon revolutionize how we pick up trash here in the borough of Brooklyn. And everyone knows I hate rats and rodents moving through our street. And 4 years ago, when we brought on our trash revolution that included our rat czar, we moved the city in the right direction. And we hired a great team, and Acting Commissioner Lohan is really placing this initiative on a fast track. Cannot thank him and his team enough. Community Board 9 in Manhattan has now become the first New York City neighborhood to have 100% of its trash covered by containerization requirements. Part of this reason we have had so much success is because we have engaged the community, clear communications and conversations with the community. So while we're mandating Empire bins at schools in all buildings with more than 30 units, we will conduct an extensive one-to-one outreach to buildings with 10 to 30 units, offering them the option to the Empire bins or the smaller wheelie bins already in use at smaller properties. This is a flexible part of engaging the community and really getting buy-in on how we deal with trash in our city. And so we, again, want to thank our partners, particularly DSNY and all of our city agencies who were involved in the Battle of Brooklyn and getting rid of our rodents here in our borough have started, and we're looking forward to that success. I want to turn it over now to our amazing commissioner at the Department of Sanitation, Commissioner Lohan.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Adams and Deputy Mayor Roth. New Yorkers have a proud history of getting things done. The Empire State Building was built in 14 months, the Chrysler Building was built in 20 months, and the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel was built in 4 years. In recent years, however, many New Yorkers have grown to think that we can no longer get things done with any speed. Well, we are here once again to prove them wrong. We can do great things, and with the right leadership, we can do them quickly. For decades, New Yorkers have traveled the world and marveled at how every other city, from Amsterdam to Buenos Aires, put their trash in clean, sealed containers, and then came home to mounds of smelly black trash bags, and a city that told them, we can't do that here. The streets of New York City have to be dirty. Well, in the last 2 years, we have shown that the city that built bridges, tunnels, and skyscrapers that awed the world can also be a clean city. How did we do it? We started by telling New Yorkers that rush hour is not trash hour. You have to put your trash out for collection at night, not in the afternoon. We also picked up trash earlier, often in just a few hours. Next, we required all businesses to put their trash in containers. Then we said buildings with 1 to 9 residential units had to put their trash in containers. Every step was met with cynics who said they loved the idea, but it just couldn't work here. Well, it's working. New Yorkers adjusted their habits. They changed their decades-long way of doing things. And we have a cleaner city with 70% of trash in containers and fewer rats as a result. The remaining 30% of trash was a bigger challenge. They told us it would take years to build new trucks that did not exist in North America. We didn't accept that the city that built the Empire State Building in 14 months would have to wait 5 years for a new truck. In a matter of months, we had 1,100 Empire bins just like this one across the streets of West Harlem, requiring that every last bit of trash be placed in a bin, serviced by trucks that, yes, had to be built from scratch as part of a joint operation that brought in manufacturers from Italy. We put an end to all trash bags across all of West Harlem. We called it our moon landing. And if you heard us say that the day after our moon landing, we would immediately begin evaluating it so that we could expand to another district. You might have been one of those naysayers thinking this is just another pilot. But today we are here to say that these Empire bins are crossing the East River. We are about to bring cleaner streets and sidewalks to all of Brooklyn Community District 2. In the coming weeks, schools in the Fort Greene and Clinton Hill areas will have Empire bins. And next year, high-density residential buildings across the entire district will have them, not just here in Fort Greene, but downtown Brooklyn, Brooklyn Heights, Fulton Ferry, Dumbo, Vinegar Hill, Borum Hill, and Clinton Hill. Every building with more than 30 units will receive at least one Empire bin for their trash. And every building with 10 to 30 units will have a choice. They can have one of these Empire bins, or they can use smaller wheelie bins for their trash. These bins are sturdy, rodent-resistant, and locked. Only a building manager will be able to open it with a card key. And these bins will be serviced by newly developed trucks operated by 2 sanitation workers who will raise the bins and empty them into the side of the truck. Tomorrow begins a period of intense outreach. Our teams will be on the ground, knocking on doors, speaking to property owners and building managers to let them know that the era of black bags is coming to an end here. We will be letting them know that our city with a history of doing great things will also have clean streets and sidewalks and fewer rats. Thank you, Mayor Adams, for having the courage to see this through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mary Adams. Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you, Deputy Mayor. My name is Umberto Randa. I am a superintendent for 10 years on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And at first, I was skeptic of the Empire bins. As a typical New Yorker, we all have those fear of change. But clean, safe, and convenient was three words that came to my head first. Clean, all streets are clean, with no trash laid alongside the roads anymore. Safe, no rodents anymore, no more rats. And convenience, all building workers can dispose of the trash at any given time. That is a major improvement, and I want to thank everyone that was involved in this idea of the Empire bins. Also, I want to thank a major shout out to the DSNY workers that work hard every day to keep the streets clean. And thank you everyone once again for the idea of the Empire bins. Thank you.
You want to put a bin in the trash?
Sounds like a plan. How we do a few on topics on this?
So most of the people who have tried to get your job are saying have said they will continue this. Why do you think that is?
Oh, that's good for them. We'll see what happens next.
In the context of the rollout, are you Darth Vader or somebody else?
I like the Darth Vader character. What's happening?
This out in West Harlem. There's sometimes backlash daytime, the parking space for communities. What have you learned to how to deal with that sort of stuff? How will you use that for the next romance?
A community engagement, as the commissioner stated, knocking on doors, and really just engaging people on how people want cleaner streets. People don't want rodents in their streets coming through their garbage, their trash. On my block on Lafayette Avenue, we were having a severe rodent problem until the containerization was put in place, and we're seeing less rats. And it's just important for us to realize there's sacrifices we have to make. And these bins don't take up all the parking spaces, and it's a good trade-off. We want cleaner streets. That's one of the top things we hear.
Is there a completion date for when this district will be covered next year?
Yeah, so we anticipate by the end of 2026 we should be mostly completed, but that's also depending on some procurement. But yeah, by next fall we'll begin the residential portion of this.
Hold on, before we do that, we just really want to thank our rat czar. She has done an amazing job going all over the city dealing with this action. This was the first time it was put in place, and we're looking to make sure it's a permanent position. But thank you so much for your service. Good job. Job well done. Why don't you guys let me get these off topics. With the whole, they're going to deal with the press. What's going on? No, it doesn't. It's all about communications. We have not done one TV ad, not one mailing. We have just started knocking on doors. This is the whole process. We've been here before. I keep going back 7 months out from the primary. Andrew was up to win the primary through Polly Marcus by 87%. 87%. He was up 5% in the polling. We've been here before. Andrew Yang was beating me by 14 points. He was walking around with a tape measure, measuring the drapes at City Hall. We don't call the mayor Andrew Yang. We call the mayor Eric Adams. This is all part of the process. Let the process play out, and the voters will decide. And whatever the voters decide is fine. We had 14 people running for mayor. 14 people. I'm the mayor. So this has been a beautiful ride being the mayor of the greatest city on the globe. And whatever the voters decide, the direction they want to go in, I'm going to support. I'm a lifetime New Yorker. I love this city, and I'm always going to serve this city in one capacity or another. But it's too early. Races are won within 3 to 4 weeks. That's when races are won.
So does that mean you'll stay all the way to the
Yes. I said that over and over again. If y'all stop reporting I'm going to Saudi Arabia and I'm going to HUD and I'm going to the Yankee games with the president and I'm going to Washington, D.C. and I'm dropping out on Friday and I'm dropping out on Tuesday, y'all undermining my campaign. I don't think the voters want me out as much as you guys want me out. Let me do what I do. When my campaign change, I will tell y'all when it's changed. But all of these false reports and rumors is undermining my campaign. I've never seen anything like this in my life, when the press is playing such a major role in undermining the campaign of the candidate that has been very clear on what he's doing. And when that changes, I will announce it. Hold on, brother. We're going to do the press, and then I'll come to you and get your question, okay? No, all good. I'll come. I'm not going to forget you, okay?
My question was actually, just wanted clarification on that. I think you said a little bit of it. We've been reporting about you possibly withdrawing from the mayor race this week. Wanted to hear directly from you on that. Any details?
I like that question. That's a sharp suit, by the way. I like that question. Think about this for a moment. You stated that you want to hear directly from me. I told the paper directly that I was not at Yankee Stadium with the president. They wrote anyway that I was there. I told them I was never offered a job to Saudi Arabia. They wrote anyway I was. I told them I was never offered a job to HUD. They wrote anyway that I was. I told them I was not going to Washington. They wrote anyway that I was. I told them 2 weeks ago, you're stepping down on Friday. I said, no, I am not. They wrote anyway. So why am I saying directly from me? Because you're going to write and report anyway. Give me another question. Okay, then I can bounce. Go ahead, brother. What was your question?
Mayor Adams, thank you so much. I've been in Fort Greene since '95. I was recently evacuated from Port-au-Prince, Haiti by a military helicopter. I think it's been an eye-opener from a diversity point of view. Dinah's probably the only one left in the neighborhood that's African American. I know the population is beautiful, but what is it that we're doing to maintain the diversity that Fort Greene enjoyed for so long with the Letitia James and Hakeem Jeffries of the world? And I remember you at the 8-Day Crusade as well. Thank you.
No, so true. And as I was sitting here, I noticed that also. There's a stark change in this community, and we're hemorrhaging black and brown working class people because of the cost of living in this city. And I've stated over and over again, I cannot control the price of bread, but we put bread back in the pockets of New Yorkers at the tune of $30 billion, $30 billion. And the goal is to build more housing. Many of these communities were not building housing fast enough. And we are clearly the most pro-housing administration in the history of this city. We have built, we have made sure we maintain and zoned this city for 426,000 units of new housing. That is more than 12 years of Bloomberg, 8 years of de Blasio combined. We did it in three and a half years, because our goal is to build housing so the richness of this community, particularly longstanding New Yorkers, can be here and enjoy the prosperity of the city. But I see the same, not only here, Bed-Stuy, going into even East New York, parts of Queens. And we want to make sure that new arrivals and longstanding New Yorkers can have a place to live in New York City. Thank you. Thank you. Got to bounce.